I was talking with Cassidy this morning about the differences between happiness and contentedness. And to me, happiness is kind of a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. It's something that is chased, it's an external experience. Oftentimes, it's attributed to a particular behavior or a particular accomplishment, or that another person is going to bring this into our life. And the difficulty with that is we can be chasing it like that proverbial gold at the end of the rainbow and never actually get close enough to grab a hold of it. And it can be very frustrating when we're thinking, if I only had that, then I would finally achieve this feeling or of well-being or being at peace. And the problem with that, if you remember our hedonic treadmill studies from the gratitude experiment, is that even when people would like win the lottery, or the very thing that they're wishing for or hoping for would happen, they'd find that their happiness would spike, and then shortly after they experienced the thing that they were hoping to experience, or this great adrenaline kick, their happiness level would come back down and normalize again, and they would be in the same spot as they were before, except with potentially despair because they had everything that they wanted and they were still feeling the same way. To me, contentedness is something that is described kind of as a peace in whatever circumstance we're in. It is something that we learn. It's like a muscle we develop. It's like the ability to lay hold of a well-being that comes from God, that regardless of our external circumstances, regardless of how things are going, regardless of how people are treating us, regardless of whether or not we're hitting the marks or those things that we would love to see happen are showing up in our life, we can be content. And it reminds me, there's a scripture that says, godliness with contentment is great gain. And the next time you're thinking about happiness, I would encourage you to consider maybe what is being stirred in your soul is a desire to pursue learning to be content, learning to quiet your own soul, to submit yourself to God, to humble yourself and say, Lord, this may not be the situation going the way I want it to. I may be at odds with the people in my life. I may be having difficulty in certain things. I don't have all that I need or think that I even want. But I'm going to recognize that I can be at peace in this. Not that I never want to see anything change, but I'm not going to wait for the circumstances to change to embrace the peace that you give that goes beyond circumstance. For what it's worth, contentedness, happiness.